We got top 20 best MCU Easter eggs.
We're about to jump on that
place.
ginormous spaceship. You wanna come?
Welcome, true believers, to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the best little details and references in the MCU.
Hey! I didn't tell you where. You don't have a location.
Right, of course. Yeah, my bad, silly.
Number 20, the Collector's Collection of Easter Eggs,
Nah,
the
that
Guardians
shit
of the
was.
Galaxy.
I like that one a lot. And if you
James
saw What
Gunn
If,
really
the
likes to flex his
Collector, that
knowledge
shit
of
was
the source
crazy.
material. By including the Collector in his
I
first
wish we
Guardians of
would
the
get
Galaxy
more of
film,
it.
he got the opportunity to
With the
include a whole
Collector.
assortment of recognizable oddities to thrill his fellow comic book lovers.
What do you let it lick you like that for? Gross.
Amidst the Collector's many cases, we can spot Cosmo the Space Dog, who many will recognize from his time with the Guardians
of the
comics.
Galaxy
Then there's
now, I
Howard the
think.
Duck, everyone's favorite hard-drinking mallard.
You can also spot a Dark Elf and a Shatari.
What more could fans ask for?
I never thought I'd meet a Groot. Sir?
Number 19, Tales to Astonish Ant-Man.
How's retirement?
How's your face?
We've said it before, and we will say it again. It's nice to see a character's first comic book appearance get an on-screen nod. While Thor's debut got a billboard, Ant-Man's actually got some lip service, courtesy of the movie's villain, Darren Cross, aka Yellow Jacket.
But just imagine a soldier the size of an insect.
The original Ant-Man, Hank Pym, made his comic book debut in Tales to Astonish number 27, which saw the discovery of the Pym particles and Hank's first experiences with shrinking. It was 8 issues later in the same title that Dr. Pym would debut as a bona fide superhero, adopting the mantle of Ant-Man. In the film, after showing footage of Hank's early adventures, Cross loudly proclaims Tales to Astonish.
He was
It's quick,
cooking.
but a nice nod nonetheless.
Tales to astonish.
Number 18, Ed Brubaker, Captain America Winter Soldier.
I'm with you to the end of the line.
Nowadays, no one stays dead in comics. If a character is killed off, they're sure to make a triumphant return in a matter of months or
In
years,
another
probably with
universe.
a complicated story arc detailing the
That's why it's
means
a
by which they
multiverse.
cheated death. But that wasn't always the case. In 1968, after 27 years of service at Captain America's side, Bucky Barnes was retroactively killed off in World War II.
I thought you were dead.
I thought you were smaller.
And he stayed dead for nearly 4 decades. Then, in 2005, writer Ed Brubaker revived Bucky and gave us the awesome character known as the Winter Soldier.
Bucky?
That's what it's at.
Well, when Bucky came back from the dead in the MCU, Ed Brubaker did it again by playing one of the on-screen
That was pretty
scientists.
badass.
Number 17, The Ten Rings Connection, Ms. Marvel.
You're good at math. Do you know anything about interdimensional travel off the top of your head?
While this TV show mostly stands alone, it has a significant tie to MCU. In a flashback to 1942, the clandestines find a bangle, or quantum band, in an Indian temple.
By
On
a
the floor,
Kree.
you can see the symbol of the Ten Rings.
The criminal organization from Shang-Chi.
10 rings.
But how the band ended up there remains a mystery. Wenwu might have collected various artifacts over the centuries, which may have led to an encounter with the Kree. The quantum bands might also be linked to the actual Ten Rings, as both are ancient weapons of otherworldly origins. In any case, this is an interesting little
Hopefully we
reference
find
that
out
sparked
soon.
many theories.
You're being lied to by a creature who wants to destroy us all.
Is that what they told you?
Number 16, Hitler Punch, Captain America the First Avenger. This one isn't exactly subtle,
Bram
but
is
hey,
the
an
original
iconic superhero
Avengers.
punching one of the most hated men in history shouldn't really be subtle now, should it? During his performance for the troops, Captain America winds up and throws a simulated punch right in the Führer's face.
Germans will think twice about trying to get the drop on us.
Even without the comic book context, it would be a widely appreciated moment. But what makes it all the sweeter is the fact that this right hook is taken straight from the cover of Captain America
They're
#1,
probably cooking
first
back
published
then
in
with
March
that
of
in the
1941.
comments.
Cap has weathered his fair share of changes over the years, so it was nice to see the filmmakers pay tribute to his fascist smashing roots.
That must have been a good time, like comic book wise.
Number 15, Shield's map, Iron Man 2.
I gotta think about it.
Read on.
Before Eric Selvig mapped out Marvel's reality in Thor: The Dark World, this map was a major clue for what was to come. It marked Tony's Malibu mansion and New York, which could either be the site of the Stark Expo or the Hulk's battle in Harlem.
You can't afford me.
There's also a tease of a frozen Steve Rogers in Greenland, and Thor landing in New Mexico.
you thought
Then
this was
there's a
free?
hotspot in Africa that could be Wakanda.
And the one in the Atlantic Ocean that's not too far from Telecon.
I mean, it is genuinely impressive how they foreshadowed characters who wouldn't appear until years later.
I don't think I want you looking at that.
Number 14. The Incredible Hulk TV series, She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Marvel clearly hasn't shied away from paying tribute to its TV and film predecessors. In the finale to She-Hulk,
so
we get a
bad,
show
bro.
opening that is straight out of the 70s.
Jennifer Walters, Esquire, lawyer, millennial, searching for a way to balance a career and her personal life.
Complete with retro visuals and dramatic narration, this is a clear reference to the iconic opening titles of the Incredible Hulk series.
And now, when Jennifer Walters grows angry or outraged, a startling
It
metamorphosis
would have probably been better if they made it
Everything
like
from the
back
film
then.
grain to entire recreated shots make this a clever gag for fans of the original show.
But
Tatiana
what better-
Maslany even has a male body double, echoing Lou Ferrigno's role as
Better
the
shit,
Jade
though.
Giant. Number 13. Missing Arms, all of Phase 2.
It'll grow back, you dashed idiot. Quit whining.
Have you ever noticed that somebody loses an arm in every Phase 2 movie?
a lot of people
While viewers
lose it,
know that
a
Bucky lost
arm.
his arm to become the Winter
the hell?
Soldier, there are even more severed limbs in this phase. The villains, Killian, Malekith, and Claw, all suffer this violent fate.
Yeah, you take a minute.
Yellow Jacket also loses his right arm to the Quantum Realm,
Bro,
and
what's
even
up with
Groot and
Marvel,
Nebula
bro?
experience similar losses. So why did this keep happening? Well, it's Feige's way of honouring The Empire Strikes Back, and its impact on the franchise. Just like how Luke lost his hand to Vader, various characters in Phase 2 have the same kind of injury.
Number 12. Xavier's Words of Wisdom, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Our final member, Professor Charles Xavier.
There was a time when Fox's X-Men were the biggest superhero team in cinema. While
They'll
Marvel
be the
Studios
biggest
could have
again,
started
watch.
fresh, they're honouring the old guard in their own way.
I
When
don't know
Wanda
who
attacks
they'll
the
get
Illuminati,
to
Charles Xavier
play
delivers some
Cyclops.
advice.
Just because someone stumbles and loses their way doesn't mean they're lost forever. We will see what kind of Doctor Strange you are.
The line he uses is actually from Days of Future Past, where Xavier talks to his younger and more cynical self. This moment captures the heart that Stewart brought to the role over 20 years ago. It's only fitting that he uses the quote to show his trust in Stephen, and it's reassuring that his faith in others remains constant throughout the multiverse.
Stephen, as always, chose to go it alone.
Number 11. Imperious Rex, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Namor was long thought to be a character too difficult to adapt for the MCU, mostly due to rights issues with Universal. Fortunately, Wakanda Forever finally did the character justice. The film captures everything we love about
they made
the
him look
anti-hero.
good.
His signature intensity, regality, and winged feet. They even
Badass.
included his comic book catchphrase in his fight with Shuri. The line Imperious Rex roughly translates from Latin to Empire King. Though it doesn't quite fit his Mesoamerican roots, it's still a great
that
nod to the
whoop.
comics that showcase his arrogance and power. Number 10. Netflix theme, She-Hulk Attorney at Law.
How about I just smash our way in?
Because they have weapons, Jennifer?
Yeah, good thing She-Hulk is indestructible, Matthew.
After his return in No Way Home, it was just a matter of time before we saw Matt Murdock show up in another project. Since She-Hulk also
Daredevil,
features a
bro, we
superhero
gotta get
lawyer,
that new
it made
series.
perfect sense for him to appear. Their team-up
Can't
brought
wait.
thrilling fights, electric
Fourth
chemistry,
season,
and
I
a
guess.
recognizable piece of music.
So, are you like a superhero? Like
Bruh.
the Gold Devil?
I'm Daredevil.
Amid some banter between Jen and Matt, the opening theme to Netflix's Daredevil plays.
What the
This was a
hell,
cherished callback to one of Marvel's best shows, and a reassuring sign that the elements that made it work were not being forgotten.
I thought I detected a whiff of virtue in there.
Number 9. Previous champions, Thor Ragnarok.
Let's get ready to welcome this guy. Here he comes.
When Thor gets stranded on Sakaar, he's forced to fight the Hulk in the contest of champions. But who held the title of
wonder-
champion before Bruce? As Thor
Yeah,
is brought to
that's
the
how I'm gonna
Grandmaster's
ask.
palace, you can see sculptures of previous
Who did
contest
Hulk
winners.
beat to be the champion?
Among them are the Hulk villains Bybeast and Darkcrawler, suggesting that they may have been defeated by him in the arena. The more recognizable faces include Ares, a former mighty Avenger, and Beta Ray Bill, an ally of Thor who's worthy of lifting his hammer. The creature known as Man-Thing also has a sculpture, so looks like he had adventures beyond escaping monster hunters in Werewolf by Night. Number 8. Hulk vs. Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Just give me one more drink and then I'll leave.
This movie is packed with Easter eggs related to Wolverine's history, and the best one is this blink and you miss it moment. As Deadpool explores the multiverse, he runs into a Logan who is about to face the Hulk. Wolverine's classic brown and tan suit is already a visual treat, but if you look closely, you can also spot the Hulk's reflection in his claws. This image recreates Todd McFarlane's cover of The Incredible Hulk number 340. The art has become iconic to Marvel fans, and seeing it brought to life on the big screen is nothing short of thrilling.
You want to build a snowman? Yes!
Number 7. The original Guardians, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
You know what would be a really kick-ass name? Taserface!
More so than perhaps any other director working for Marvel, James Gunn has a deep, deep love for the source material from which he's drawing upon. While Peter Quill and company are the lineup that have seen the greatest success in terms of both comic book sales and in making it to the big screen, they are in fact the second group of oddball characters to use the label Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's a shame that it took the tragedy of losing Yondu to bring us all together again.
As a nod to Guardians who came before his, Gunn brought to life some of the original crew for one of his post-credit scenes. We got to see Starhawk, Charlie 27, Martin X, Mainframe, Alita, and Kruger. Oh, and let's not forget the original Guardians' first enemy, Taserface.
Oh, hey, what about this little plant? Can I smash it with a rock?
No, Chef. It's too adorable to kill.
Number 6. The Prowler and Miles Morales, Spider-Man Homecoming. When Tom Holland donned the tights, he became the third big-screen Spider-Man, but the first to join the MCU. He received a warm welcome from audiences and MCU devotees, but with Spider-Man Homecoming, he also raised a few questions, like, will Tom Holland be the only Spider-Man in this universe?
Okay. I'll level with you. I don't think I can keep this a secret. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
Donald Glover played a small-time criminal known as the Prowler, who, in the comics, is none other than the uncle of Prowler Morales,
in that
who
one
took on the role of Spider-Man after Peter's death in the Ultimate Universe. Glover also happens to voice Miles on the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, making this small moment truly fascinating.
Man, I wanted something low-key. Like, why you trying to upsell me, man?
Number 5. I can do this all day. Captain America: Civil War.
He's my friend. So was I.
You know that a cinematic universe is doing well when it's expansive enough that it can start making references back to its early films. In Civil War, Captain America's third solo outing and 5th appearance in the franchise, he comments to friend-turned-enemy Tony Stark,
in this moment.
Does the line sound familiar? That's because Steve Rogers is quoting a much younger version of himself from many decades back. Before undergoing the experimental treatment that turned him into the super soldier he is today, he uttered those exact words to a jerk beating him up behind a theater.
I can do this all day.
You get that ass whooped.
A lot changes over time, but not the fighting spirit and optimism of Steve Rogers.
Sometimes I think you like getting punched.
I had him on the ropes.
Number 4. Mutants musical cue, The Marvels.
You are now in a reality parallel to your own.
This mid-credit scene was a mind-boggling development for the MCU. When Monica wakes up on another Earth, she quickly learns that her mother is not only alive in this universe, but that she's also an ally of the X-Men.
Mom!
Kelsey Grammer's Beast appears as well, hinting that this could be taking place in the timeline of the original X-Men movies. As Monica starts to realize what's happened, a nostalgic piece of music likely confirms the theory.
I wonder how they're
The score
gonna
that
keep
plays
going
softly in
with
the
this
background
one.
is unmistakably John Ottman's X-Men theme, hinting at the possibility of a future crossover.
Which is, of course, impossible.
Number 3. The Amazing Spider-Man number 33, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Come on, Spider-Man. Come on, Spider-Man.
There are many ways in which Marvel has paid homage to Spider-Man's co-creators. In addition to borrowing Steve Ditko's classic costume, an important moment from the comics was brought to life here. When Peter is trapped under a collapsed building, he's left defeated and crying for help.
I'm down here! I'm stuck!
This is a live-action take on a scene from The Amazing Spider-Man number 33. Although the stories are different, both feature Spider-Man finding the strength to free himself.
Come on, Peter.
The comic has since become famous for highlighting Peter's ability to overcome self-doubt. With that context, Homecoming perfectly captures the spirit of Lee and Ditko's creation.
What the?
Number 2, Andrew Garfield gets closure, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Crawl around.
Crawl around?
When Spider-Man came to the MCU, we thought we'd never see Andrew
Well, we're
Garfield
gonna
as
see
the
them
character
again for Secret
but
Wars,
not only did
hopefully.
he make a triumphant return, he
Or
also
for
found some
Doomsday.
closure. Fans will recall that Peter failed to save Gwen Stacy in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. His chance at redemption
That's
eventually came in the final act of No Way Home. When MJ falls from the Statue of Liberty, Peter 3 immediately springs into action and
I wonder
saves
if
her.
they're gonna ever make another movie for the Amazing Spider-Man. Or for Toby. I don't think Toby would do it though.
He then takes a beat to recover, reflecting on Gwen's heartbreaking death. It's one of the film's most emotional moments, especially for those who have followed Garfield's journey as Spider-Man from the beginning.
Alright, get out of here. Go. Go.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. All Stan Lee cameos are the same character, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Don't make me come down there, you punk!
There was a time when an appearance from the
Stan
man
Lee
himself
always
was a
wanted to
guarantee in every Marvel movie. But even then, we wondered how all of his characters could exist within the same universe. Thankfully, we got an answer to this question. In Guardians Volume 2, Lee cameos as an informant for the Watchers, a race of beings who observe the multiverse.
Oh, man. Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted, at that time, I was a Federal Express man.
We watch him in the middle of telling a story about his time as a delivery driver. This is a reference to his cameo in
There's a
Captain
lot of
America
Watchers.
Civil
I
War.
thought it was just
If
one.
those two are the same
Based
character,
off
it's
what
likely that all his characters are the same person, even the barber who cut Thor's hair.
By Odin's beard, you shall not cut my hair, lest you feel the wrath of the mighty Thor.
Marvel real for that though. Giving
So
him
that's
a
our
cameo.
list. I mean, the MCU
in
has too many
almost
Easter
every
eggs to
movie.
count. Are there any ones that we missed on our list? Let us know down below.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these.
Please comment, like, and subscribe. Bye.